Be Fools and Collecting. A podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the 60th episode of Only Fools and Collecting.
Nice, another milestone.
Another one bites the dust. Well, we're still here, Pete, which is handy.
Yep.
So yeah, and you know, we just had Christmas. It's a new year. It's a new dawn and all that.
Yeah, we've had a long break. We've been off for a month.
We've had a very long break.
I think we back.
We played the pre-record quite well there, Pete. We had 4 weeks off.
Yep.
It was practically a whole month, wasn't it? So yeah.
So you feeling refreshed and ready to go again?
No, I'm fucking knackered. I'm always tired. Look at the fucking state of me, Pete. I'm bollocks all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we are back. So we have got Zero Gravitas in the chat. Mr. Smith. Oh my fucking god, Rick. I love that name. Amazing. Hello. It's evening here, my man. Evening. We have Takari and Toy Mafia as well. And I think Equan. Hello. And Andre. So yeah, bit of a packed chat for 2 minutes in. So, as per usual, we are sponsored to you by Backdrops and Bases and What Else Scrapyard. Both very, very, very nice gentlemen. Well worth giving them a look at. What else anything you want 3D printed and designed, no worries. And Backdrops and Bases, any backdrop or base you want printed and designed. See what we did there. We like to link them slightly.
Yeah. Welcome, Mark.
But yeah, look at that. Hey, Mark, my favourite drunk man.
Yeah,
he is here.
Definitely.
Cool. So, let's kick right off into
New releases.
No, we're not. We're going to do this one.
New this fortnight.
I'll tell you what, you can't tell we've had time off.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest, you probably could have skipped it because I haven't got anything. I was just saying to you off air that I got a few bits and pieces for Christmas. Not 1/6, but you can probably see some boxes in the background. Got some NECA Gremlins and bits and pieces like that. Some smaller scale stuff. But we just had a month of having all our windows changed and everything. So it's been absolute chaos in here. And I only kind of just got it back to normal. So I haven't taken any photos or anything. So I'll have loads of stuff for next show. But I thought, do you know what? We've got enough to go on as it is. So we'll skip on. So I think you've got one thing.
I have got one thing. So what I've done is I have... I could count my new setup, my new desk and monitors and shit like that.
Yeah, very nice.
Because I thought after... We're hitting 60 episodes. It's about time I take this shit seriously. So the DeLorean is still with me.
Yeah.
Exactly. The DeLorean is still with me. It's upstairs. It's where I used to work all day long. And now I sit down here and I work down here all the time. And I've set it all up so I can now stream here all the time, and it's great because I don't have to. If what I might do is I post some of the photos in auxiliary if I can dig them out of how my setup has changed throughout the years of doing this. It used to be 2 chairs with a wicker box shoved on top of them with my laptop sitting on top. That's how I started off streaming.
A little bit wobbly, a little bit precarious.
It was a little bit wobbly. Every now and again, it would just drift. And then it was a little fold-out table, and then I've some kind of ladder table type thing, and now I've got a proper upgraded to a proper desk. I feel like a proper person nowadays.
Finally taking it seriously. It's nice to see.
But figure-wise, I've got a Miles Morales, which is here. This little dude. Bit of story behind it was I traded a Yoda for it because I was flicking through the groups and someone was selling a loose prequel Yoda for £100 just with the cane and just the figure. Now my Yoda I had a repaired knee and I'd stitched the suit up and I thought actually for £100 fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'll buy it, so I got it, and it's absolutely perfect. I listed my Yoda for £100. I was like, right, I'll get my money back, not a problem. And then a guy I've known for ages was like, I'm really tempted. Do you want to trade for anything? I was like, I shouldn't, but what have you got? And he was like, I've got a Miles Morales. It's loose, and it just comes with the hands. Do you want to swap? And I was like, I really, really want to see what the Young Rich stuff's like, because when these first came out, I was like, I'm really tempted. So I was like, oh, fuck it, go on then, we'll swap. So this literally turned up probably about 3-4 hours ago. It's been sitting on my desk all day. And it's one of those figures that they've nailed it. Like, this is what every Spider-Man should be, because you can pose it without any risk to it whatsoever of it flaking. Yeah. The only bits that are going to be, that I think have started to go a little bit, are these bits on the shoulder, like there.
Okay.
But I don't mind that, because in the film, this is a normal red Spider-Man suit that he spray paints.
Right.
So
okay.
if they end up starting to flake slightly, or they start to, the line, like on, you can probably see it just there, is starting to get a little bit shitty. I don't mind that, because that's kind of how it should be.
Yeah.
But he's like, look, you can't do that with a normal Spider-Man. I could leave him like that for ages, and it wouldn't make a blind bit of difference. So my curiosity, not my satisfaction, my curiosity is well and truly satisfied with this one, because I was thinking, I'll get it, I'll see what it's like, then I'll just move it on. But as it's been sitting on my desk all day, it's a nice little desk figure that you can kind of piss ass about with, where you're not really paying attention to meetings that you're meant to be in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I might end up, and as I've got a bit of a Spider-Man bug at the moment, because my boy is well and truly into Spider-Man after seeing the last film. And we're going back through and watching all the animated series. So it's all about Spider-Man in my house at the moment. So that turned up just in time. But yeah, I'm now tempted to look at the Spider-Gwen and some of the other stuff. And yes, Peter B. Parker. Like the Peter B. Parker I really like from it. So yeah, I'm tempted to kind of dive into the Spider-Verse line, because they are, based on this one, it's pretty good.
Yeah, cool. I think I think it's funny, isn't it? Because we're all victims of like the media and stuff. So instantly, we all went and saw Spider-Man. And all of a sudden, the boards are just full of, I want to buy this, I want to buy this, I want to buy this. And I kind of, and like we've taught every episode we have a Spider-Man on, we're out of Marvel, but really tempted to get back into Spider-Man. So I decided I've pre-ordered the classic suit PS4 one. So I will have a Spider-Man. I think it's due out this quarter.
If they do that suit from the end of the film, and they do it with the and they do it in the same material as, say, like those Power Rangers, instant pre-order.
Yeah, it's coming. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
I think they're probably just. It seems like all the spoiler things have expired now, so I think they might have just kept stuff quiet, and then we'll just get hit, because they've teased that the villains are coming, haven't they? So.
But I don't think they're going to release them all.
No,
I really don't. I think because they're Hot Toys, I think they will do a few, but they won't do all of them. They really won't.
No. So I've got a Spider-Man coming in the next few months, which is cool. Be good to have a Spidey back, and also we'll talk later about the sort of spoiler free. But again, there's something that everyone's talking about for Boba now. So it's very much this. It's funny how this hobby is driven by this week's episode, and everybody wants this, and they're selling this and everything. So it's always interesting. But yeah, it was. We'll talk about Spider-Man later. But yeah, it was a great film. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was my favourite Marvel film so far, by a long shot.
Yeah,
by a long shot. But yeah, that was pretty much it. So now we're going to go into
new releases.
There we go, and it floats.
Yay.
So
it's finally here.
It's finally here. Hot Toys Pennywise for £202. If I wasn't so skin, I would get this.
Yeah, I was very tempted. I mean, where's that 202? Is that like Toys Wonderland or something? So
that's on Sideshow at the moment. I just grabbed that off Sideshow.
So you're looking at 300, because I've been tempted, but 280 is about the best I've been quoted.
So shipping from Sideshow is going to be about £30, then another 30 or quid for probably at 40 now for the tax on it, I reckon.
Yeah, no, I think it's great, and from everything I've seen of it, it looks like a fantastic figure. I think when I first saw the new films, I wasn't that taken with it, but I've watched them again, and I'm kind of getting a bit more into it now. And
I prefer the second. I prefer part 2 to part 1.
Yeah, which is technically what this is, but then I think it's just a licensing thing. They have to have it licensed to a film, and obviously they didn't bring one out. But the bases from part 1 and stuff like that. But no, I was watching Dean Knight's video where he took the fat suit off and did a bit of.
Has he got one?
And yeah. You know he's got one. You know where he got it from.
Everyone fucking knows he's got one at this point.
yeah, exactly. But it does look really good. It's just that, and a lot of people are saying figure of the year because it's just so well done, and it's. I don't need to have Mark says I don't need to have nightmares on my shelf for those that are finally getting it. Yeah,
it is,
but it's one of those things, isn't it, where actually Hot Toys do bring out one of these sort of odd bods that's out there, and they've done a really good job.
I
think everyone that's been waiting for this is really happy with it. I think maybe one day down the line I might get one, but I don't really want to pay best part of 300 quid. And also it's heavy because of the base, so you got the extra shipping cost as well.
Yeah, I mean the problem I've got is that my display cases are full. I have to really think now about what I want to get, and if I get something, am I going to have to move something on? So I've got to think, and the downside of having Bestas is you kind of want everything in a cube to be tied together. You don't really want a random one. So it's a little bit like...
going down. I mean, you could go with a horror cube, and you could have Ash in there, and
I could put him in with Evil Dead stuff.
Yeah,
but then I'd want a couple more horror type.
Yeah, you want something else different. Yeah, it is a difficult one. Yeah, but it does.
So Lane Prem says it's good.
Yeah. I think. I think if he'd made it into the in time for the CW awards, I definitely would have voted for him. I'm obviously not seeing one in hand, but it just looks like a quality. And all it needs is a little bit of weathering, which is Hot Toys always go quite light on the weathering, which is fine. But
they go practically non-existent a lot of the time now. They just don't do it on.
No, but
if it's an armoured
bit.
figure.
Yeah,
if it's armoured, they tend to go for it. Anything material that's such a light touch, it might as well not be there.
No. But so he finally made it, and I love that base. I think that's a stroke of genius.
The base is brilliant.
Spare head sculpting. I think people just said just put a little bit of the foam from the packaging in there just to stop the hair rubbing on the on the top of the base there. But I love it.
Realistically, you're probably only going to get that grinning, smiling, like fanged one out for when you're taking photos. The rest of the time, you're probably going to have the It's too specific, isn't it? But this is the one. But it's a great idea.
Yeah,
it's a great idea.
Yeah, I love it. So again, it might be something I try and pick up later down the road.
Yep. And then we've got the Hot Toys, the Mandalorian Boba 2-pack for 404 quid.
And this has been pulled forward, hasn't it? It's earlier than expected, I think.
So I cancelled my pre-order on this because I had it with Sideshow, because Sideshow are arseholes. So what was meant to come out in January was the Clone Wars Anakin and Obi-Wan, which I both had on pre-order. I paid Obi-Wan off, but I've still got Anakin. I was thinking, I've got that, I've got Ash, this, and I thought to myself, the only one out of this pack I really want is the kind of Tuscany Raider one. You can't get that on its own. No. And I thought to myself, actually, do you know what? I'll cancel it and I'll pick it up either later on down the line or when inevitably we get a book of Boba. Yeah, I mean, I did see someone part out and they wanted 280 quid, and I thought, well, there's easier ways to tell the world. There's easier ways to tell the world you're an absolute cunt than to price it at 280 quid. Like,
exactly.
Fuck off. So I was like, no.
And it is unfortunately, it's the only way to get this head sculpt at the moment. But I don't think it'll be the last figure.
The thing is, there's been loads of Boba Fett head sculpts for ages. They will release that Tusken Raider one as a Book of Boba Fett one, and they will give you a new head sculpt with no scars for the armoured version, because obviously the Book of Boba armoured version you won't have scars, but the Tusken one you will definitely 100% get that in a single pack, marked up as Book of Boba Fett. Was this
because the Bacta tanks got rid of them? Is it?
Yeah. So when he's armoured up in Book of Boba Fett, he's no scars, whatever, because he's suddenly plonked himself in a back tank and he's all healed. And but the Tusken Raider flashbacks were all pre-back attack. Yeah. So that'd be. But you're 100%. I almost guarantee you will get that. Has another standalone figure on its Todd at some point, or you'll get it with or you'll get it with a Bantha or something like that. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Because there's already a repaint one coming, isn't there? They've announced that. There you go, look. Zero go halves on this.
I'd go halves, but I've got a feeling we both want the same half. Because the thing is, the thing is, this other side, it's kind of a one and done. It's in it for half an episode, because as soon as he gets back on Slave One, he fucking repaints
spray
it.
Paint out, doesn't he?
Yeah. He changes the bit that it's attached to, which for some reason it gets sun bleached for whatever reason, like at some point, and then he fucking paints it black. So
no, he wants he does want the armour.
He wants the armour. Well, maybe we need to have a chat. Although for the next 3 months, I'm exceptionally skinned. I've got stag do's, mum's 60th, God knows what coming up. So it's yes.
People still do stag do's today in the COVID world.
In a COVID world, they do. My mate does. Yeah. We're just sorting out what we want to do. So it's it's going to be fun.
So,
but
Lane says, guys, you see the new Ash. I'm worried a lot for that figure. Yep, we will get to that.
Oh, I am. So we've got a whole section.
He's in Shenanigans because we've got so much to talk about. So you'll catch him later.
Big time.
But really good. I think both these figures look cracking. I love that head sculpt. I'd be happy to own either of them, but I'm not getting into that.
They're really good, but I just can't see us not getting another Boba Fett.
Nah.
What I've been doing is I've been looking just for the Boba Fett jumpsuit, because I want to do him out of the Scarlet Pit after he's had all his stuff nicked.
Yeah.
When he's just got
his
the
long
gaffy
johns?
stick. Yeah, I want a long john Boba.
Because it's funny, I don't know. One thing I'm amazed is how he's managed to put on like 50 pounds in the time he's been in the Starlight Pit.
Well, you know what they say about Starlight Pits? You gain 50 pounds as soon as you drop in. That's it. That's why he couldn't fucking get out. It was all that holiday weight.
Yeah.
That's why he was wedged in. But yeah. Just scratch your still have to get new windows.
Yeah, tell me about it. It was a close call, Mark, but yeah.
But yeah, the funny thing was, so with Sideshow, they said, so Anakin Obi-Wan were meant to come out. I went, okay, fine, I'll put my big boy pants on and I'll cancel something. So I cancelled this. And then, like, a week later, I so I lost my non-refundable deposit. I was thought, okay, not a problem. Then I got an email to say, we're pushing the Obi-Wan and Anakin back to, like, June. And I was like, are you taking a piss?
Yeah.
Are you having a laugh? Because I went through and I cleared the decks. I cancelled, like, Bo-Katan and all kinds of stuff. Because I was like, no, just not doing it. But I was like, fucking hell. And then, obviously, all these photos come out and I was a little bit like, you bastard. And then the photos of Ash came out and I was like, you bastard, I've cancelled the wrong thing here.
Yeah,
exactly. I know, all fun and games, but
I think that's the thing. You can always rely on Hot Toys. They very rarely put out a shit release. They've had a few that have been a bit shitty, but I think obviously they are a fairly safe bet. But it looks good. I like the Smash Stormtrooper helmet as well.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
I do. Cool. So while we're on the Mandalorian, we've got the Artillery Stormtrooper, or the Mustard Stormtrooper, for 160 quid. It's 160 quid. Obviously got postage and other bits on top. Yeah. But it doesn't offend me.
No, it's a weird one because some of the blogger pics, it really looked like a cheap sort of £20 toy, and I think because of the yellow and stuff, it has that the danger of looking a bit cheap. I mean, I picked out some of these which are the better sort of photos, but I mean, unless you're going, balls deep on all the troopers and stuff from Mando, not really for me.
Problem is, there's no weathering on it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not the biggest fan of the Rogue One armor either, which is now the template for all troopers. So, but yeah, again, it's a Hot Toys bargain these days and age. So
this day and age, yeah. If there's just a little bit of weathering, I think that would stop the kind of cheapy toy look.
Yeah.
But I think, the reason why they don't weather it up so much is it's meant to be one of Moff Gideon's, and they're meant to be the shiny, like,
but then again,
kind of stuff,
the only stormtroopers that really should be shiny are the ones that never go outside, like the ones on the Death Star. As soon as you get outside, your bright white armour is not going to stay that way for very long, is it?
And if they're rolling around in the dirt like that, he's an artillery trooper, he spends half his time on his fucking knees loading that cunt. Like, he's going to be...
exactly.
There's going to be a little bit of weather there.
Those shin guards should be messed up. I was saying
so it has some weathering on the boots and such. Yeah, but not, that's like a dusting. That's like... there you go, done it, ship it up, send it out.
The boots, don't they?
Yeah, needs a little bit more. But 160, not bad, doesn't overly offend. And then we had this one finally released, the Hot Toys Mark 85 Battle Damage. This was £350. This is probably the Iron Man I would want.
Yeah. I think they've gone out with a bang. Yeah,
although I wouldn't have him posed on his knees in that I'm Iron Man pose. If you're going to do that, you might as well buy a statue and save yourself £250.
Yeah. No, I do like the head sculpt though. I think that's after the sort of debacle of the standard Mark 85. This one looks like a cracking one. I mean, maybe the hair's a little bit too bouffant, but it looks good. Battle damage looks good.
The face is definitely there, but
definitely, great face sculpt, and I think it'd be a shame to, I think if you got it, you'd have to. I couldn't not display the head sculpt. Just have him hold. I mean, not that he's actually had a helmet he can hold for many suits, because it just goes back into the neck piece.
It's all nanotech, isn't it?
It's always a good look to do that. But it does look great, and I don't know if this is possibly the last. There might be one. We're almost at the end of Endgame, aren't we? I think this is the last, if not the last. I think there might be Doctor Strange or something. There might be one other. I know somebody corrected us or told us last.
Have you seen all the posts about this though? We should have put that in Shenanigans.
Right. Okay. No, I haven't seen.
All over Christmas, I'm flicking through Facebook every now and then because why am I going to spend time with my loved ones when I can spend time with my phone? And I'm flicking through, and all I can see is people going, "I've got my Mark 85 battle damage. Is this scratch on purpose, or is this dent on purpose?" I'm like, "Oh, fuck off, will you? Like, have a day off."
Don't buy battle damaged if if you're going to spend the next year worrying, deciding whether it was a purposeful dot or whether it's got a little ding.
What makes me laugh?
Does it matter?
Is they update the post and go, "Oh, don't worry, guys. I've reached out to Sideshow and they're going to replace like the leg panel or something." And I'm like, fuckers like you, or everything cost a fucking fortune.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. But my battle damage figure's too battle damaged. Well, fuck off. Like, buy the clean version then.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, and it's almost like I'm not saying that you should expect stuff to be broken, but if there is a tiny little scratch, you can get away with these things because he's. Yeah, exactly.
And there's clear battle damage that's meant to be on the figure that people are going. Well, there's like a little extra scratch, and they're like, "Is it?"
Yeah, he can roll with it because he's just he's messed up. Now I do really like it.
My golden rule is if you take a photo of a figure and you have to zoom in and you have to circle what you're on about, you're a knobhead. There's no need for it, none at all. It's not a problem. If you have to go to that length, it's not an issue. You should just move on. Not an issue.
No, it looks great, and I think he'd look really good with the battle damage Thanos, which is a figure I really like. As well. So,
yeah, I do as well. I do.
Cool. So finally, 4 years after Endgame, we might finally be there.
Yeah, I think Ryan's just said it's just Loki.
Loki,
just
that's
Loki
the one.
left.
Yeah. So it's been a saga.
It has a bit. And then we had the Hot Toys Arkham Knight Batgirl 184. If I had a pot to piss in, I'd be getting this because I really like this. I think it really finishes off the set really. And after 184 quid, I've got nothing to complain about. Really like it. Like I said, I've had the money, I'll get it. I want them to do more of the Arkham stuff. I think it's a shame they haven't. Yo, money.
Yay,
right,
money.
my man.
All right.
More Arkham stuff, please. Like, just keep it coming because it's all really good.
I think it will. It seems to be quite. There doesn't seem to be any shortage of characters and suits and stuff. So I think we'll see some.
The villains the Arkham games have some of the best character designs of any game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Like the villains all look fantastic. Like they're ripe. Like they're really good. And if Hot Toys just delved in a little bit more, I would 100% be getting more. 100%. She looks great. I see a lot of people moaning about the legs. Oh, the weird the actual proper toy legs. So it's the hips and the legs, the way they go in. So that's because the first Arkham Batman was exactly the same, but because the legs were a lot beefier, no one ever notices. Whereas these are proper dolly legs, so that her crotch, kind of the legs pop in like that. They're not in. They're not in part of the suit.
Yeah,
but yeah, I've seen a few people, but it doesn't bother me too much if I'm honest. You don't notice it so much when it's felt on the left, but the one on the right you can make it out.
Yeah.
Just under the belt, you got those gaps where the legs are.
Yeah. That's a bit odd because they haven't done anything on that before, have they?
Only on the first Arkham Batman.
Yeah.
But normally they do it when the legs are really beefy because you don't see the gap, and it's always when they're wearing. It's normally superhero type stuff where they've got a pair of pants on the outside because you can hide it. Then it doesn't look too odd. But something like this where the trousers are all kind of one piece is a bit of an odd choice. Yeah, because it does kind of take you out of it a bit.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, but it looks alright. Doesn't offend me.
Now this I've seen lots of complaints about. This is the Hot Toys Wonder Woman 84 golden armor. The standard is 225 and the deluxe is 265. It's very, very shiny. It's very, very shiny.
Don't touch it. Get your gloves on.
Yeah. Be a wanker. Put some white gloves on and touch it. It's it's the promo looks so good. But I generally never really go too much of a shit about this figure anyway for me to get too upset about it.
No.
I still think even this looks pretty good, but it's definitely a figure you pose up and then you back the fuck off and you never touch it ever again. Because I've seen people complain about bits of armour falling off and I think some were saying there's something wrong with the wings as well. We're causing people aggro.
What's weird about it is the fact that obviously the standard one comes with the closed wings, and that looks fine because they just clip into the back. But if you go with the deluxe and you get the massive spread wings, they don't. It's all a bit weird because there's a bit you put on the stand, and then the wings actually just go on the stand. They don't attach to her, and it's all a bit messy. I think. It's not very well. But then she couldn't stand up with the weight of those wings on. So
no,
it's
No, I'd only ever go for the folded in wings anyway.
I think
never
so.
have it wide open.
No. I mean that thing's huge. It's like if you got if you get a Falcon and you got the wings open on that, they are absolutely massive.
Now they had to go maybe C-3PO.
Yeah, there's got to be something going on with 3PO. It's got to be the Sideshow thing because they've obviously just re-released him, haven't they? They've done a recent new batch of him, so
yeah, there has to be
something
there
up there that we don't necessarily know about.
Yeah, don't put it in a flat pose. And I think Mark said, the Barbie hair is upsetting a lot of people as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. She's
Thing
had
is,
all along, and with all the
for me,
of Wonder Woman.
Just give us 2 sculpts with sculpted hair.
Yeah.
Just give us 2. One with the helmet on, one with the helmet off. Job done. Pop the heads off, whichever one you want. No worries. I'm never a fan of rooted hair on these. On mass-produced figures, it never looks good because it is just thick Barbie hair that looks shiny.
Super shiny. So, really difficult.
Super shiny. Fucking cut dead straight, so there's no like layering in it or anything. But some people love it, don't they? So each to their own.
So not awful, but not a home run.
It's not for me. And then we did have Ash released, but we're going to talk about that in Shenanigans.
He warrants his own little section in Shenanigans, does. Unfortunately.
Yeah, he fucking does. So let's have a look at
coming soon.
So we have like you said before we came on, this is quite apt because the film only came out on Disney Plus yesterday. But Hot Toys, Thena, how do you pronounce it, Pete?
I assume Thena, as in Athena, but we dropped the A, so I'm going to say Thena.
An A-list Athena. So yeah, I'll learn how to pronounce it tomorrow once I've seen the film. So this is 204 out January to March 2022. So if you want a random Angelina Jolie figure and you don't want anyone else who's going to be in that film, then fill your boots.
Neither of us have watched it yet. I think we're both going to watch it the weekend, so we can't say whether or not she's a good character or
if she turns out to be the next Iron Man, I'll eat my fucking hat. But it just ain't going to happen. Yeah. So I mean, the sculpt's good though.
Yeah, it's okay.
Quite good.
Yeah.
Don't mind it. Again, another massive fucking forehead because they've decided to put something on the forehead.
Yeah.
Like any time they put a tiara or a crown or anything on the forehead, for some reason if you took that off, her forehead would be like her hair would start here on me. Like I don't get it. I do not get it.
I'd like to say how you guys feeling about the regular Wonder Woman. So there's a version of her in a like normal outfit with sculpted hair.
The normal
the
normal
outfit.
That not a problem with that. Didn't mind that at all. Thing is, no matter what you do with Wonder Woman, they all pretty much look the same. But I believe that was the only one other than the training that came with sculpted hair. Yeah. So I like that because of the sculpted hair.
It's probably the best bet if you want a one, because I don't think the hair never worked on that figure.
No.
Sometimes you get away with it, but not with that one. They did a lot of work, and it just still wouldn't do what you wanted it to do anyway.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
So anyway, we'll probably talk about Eternals on the next show once we've all seen it.
Yes, I'm doing a film night with my boy tomorrow, so I'll be watching that tomorrow. So
that film was arse. Okay.
That's probably the best comment of all.
Yeah.
So, we've got the Mark IV suit up version in quarter scale. So this will set you back 451 quid in April to June. I mean, it's my favourite armour. I really like the Mark IV. So if I was going to have a quarter scale Iron Man, this would probably be it. But it's 450 quid when I don't have 450 quid, so it ain't going to happen.
And that base is going to be huge at Gantry, isn't it?
The thing is, I don't mind the base being wide, but what they normally do with quarter scale is it's the height. They normally put him on a great fucking plinth like that, so you can't get him into anything. And that I don't, because if it's wide, if they'd been that wide, I could probably get it in one of these, not a problem. But it's when they add, because like the Darth Vader one has a whole
it's the height,
chunk like that, plus the stand on top of that, then Vader, it'd take up a cube and a half height wise.
Yeah.
So this, I quite like the fact that they decided to go wide with the base instead of fucking high like they normally do. But yeah, I do like this, but it's just too much. Just can't do it.
No. So Lane's asking if did we watch Hawkeye? Yeah, I watched Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye was pretty good.
I quite liked it actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't.
Brenton, good evening, sir.
Hello. I probably wouldn't get any figures from it, but I probably, it's all about Spider-Man at the moment. If you're going to get into Marvel, Spider-Man's probably a safe bet.
Yeah.
Or be smart about it, give it 6 months, and then pick up all the Spider-Man figures that everyone's selling in 6 months' time. Dirt shit. Just wait, because it'll happen.
No, the Iron Man looks good, and it'll be an epic piece. And as you say, the Mark IV's a pretty cool armor. But not one that's going to be coming to my collection.
This next one, though, I'm very, very tempted by, even though I don't have any money. Not this one. The one after this, I'm very tempted by.
Okay.
The So Toys Hero Lawyer 2.0. So this is 95 quid at Q3 2022. What would have been cool is if they just gave you a little brick with a bit of a note on it. Would have been good.
Yeah, I mean it's obviously why they're re-releasing him because of that, and it would have been a nice little Easter egg, a little joke to have the brick. But I liked it. I thought it's a little throwaway moment, isn't it? But it was it made me chuckle.
How'd you do that? I'm a very good lawyer.
Yeah. So looks good. People said the first one was pretty good. I think with the tailoring and stuff. So
yeah, he's already got Spider-Man's. Then you're set, really. All the other stuff.
Yeah, I was tempted by that Miles figure, the Bodega Cat one. It looks really good.
The honestly, the stuff from the Spider-Man games are just fantastic. All the suits look really good. So yeah, because I've got back into playing that. Because I haven't played Miles Morales yet, because I haven't got a PS5 and I refuse point blank to be spending 40 quid on any game.
Yeah, so, I've got the Miles game on our PS5, and I'm just going. I played a bit of it, but I need to get into that.
I'm going back through on Game Plus on Spider-Man, and I forgot how much I love the game. So yeah, I've been playing back through that.
So yeah, very much like the Arkham Knight games. Like the fighting style and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's very combo heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Hero Lawyer, 95 quid, worth a punt if you're into that kind of thing. But for another 95 quid, I would very much like. This is the one I'm tempted by.
Yeah.
It's the So Toys Wingman for 95 quid at April to June. I finished watching Titans over the Christmas break, and
I haven't watched it yet.
Really good. Really, really good, the new series. So yeah, for 95 quid, because I keep looking at Nightwing as well.
Yeah, I know, I tagged you in, didn't I? There was one the other day.
Yeah,
about 130 quid, I think. Yeah,
the prices are starting to jump up. I'm a bit like, I need to get it before it goes. But yeah, so far the Titan stuff they're doing is really good.
Yeah,
really good. I think the sculpt on this is fantastic as well. Because he has that, he's such a weird looking guy.
He is.
He looks like he's. He hasn't had anything done, but he looks like he's had surgery. He looks like he's had it, but he hasn't. So yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing what this is like when it comes out. Because this would be the Robin I would pair up with my Batman, with my Batman. So yeah, and then we had the SSR Black Hero, so it's Black Superman. They're doing a regular and deluxe version. The deluxe has a bust and 2 sculpts, and the regular just comes with a normal. The regular is $235, and the deluxe is $282, and it is out May 2022.
Quite pricey, I think.
The problem is, the thing is with the
M35,
SS,
isn't it? Bison.
Yeah. So the thing is with the SSR stuff is they're not like So Toys or other companies like that. They're more custom figures than they are anything else.
Hush Batman,
Yeah. So I kind of get the price, and plus it looks like they're teasing another Superman standing behind as well.
Yeah, that's the Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight one.
Yeah, I'd be more interested in that one.
Me too. 100% me too.
Interestingly, talk about SSR. Apparently, some people have received replacement sculpts now for the broken Batman ears.
I'll drop 1-6. What's his face? Message.
Yeah,
see if they've,
it seems like they've sent them out. I think 1-6 Kits had some, and they've sent some out, but they might not be that everybody's got them yet. But
yeah,
it seems like they are doing it, but it just might be a bit piecemeal at the moment.
Yeah. So I this is nice, but I'm just not into it. It's nice.
I don't like his shiny leather pants in that right hand one.
The thing is, they've definitely shoved those Python dicks down there to give it a bit of girth.
Yeah. Yes, that's in there. He's probably got two in there.
He is, Superman. He is
Superman
packing.
Has two dicks. Yeah, he is.
Superman is packing. So but now this next one is fantastic, and a lot of people have said they want this. So this is the 108 Toys God of Death Darkseid to everyone else. 265 at Q2 2022. This looks like a fucking beast of a figure.
Yeah, he's huge, isn't he? He's 18,
Massive.
19 inches tall.
Yes.
It's quite expensive. It's like $300.
Yeah, 265 quid.
Yeah.
So we use proper money here, Peter. None of that foreign.
Yeah. I know. And is it all plastic?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so. But I don't.
Yeah, I
understand
just wonder whether it would feel a bit cheap. That's all.
I don't get the fascination of it being fucking die-cast all of a sudden.
No, I don't mean the die-cast, but if there's no material in there at all, it'd be nice to have some sort of soft goods. But maybe he doesn't have any that they could put on there. But
hey Ian, how you going?
The thing I love about this hobby is the clothing and the outfits and stuff like that, and I think I'd feel it'd be difficult for me to spend that sort of money on something that was like just a big chunk of plastic. I think, but if you love the character,
Zod was pretty much all armor, and it was all plastic, and that thing was fucking heavy. Like that felt like a substantial fucking weight when you had it, so I'm not so worried about that. It's the arm joints and stuff like that could be. I think the reason why they've probably done that is because if you look at Thanos with his funky arms, like on the Infinity War one, when you bent his arm, you had this weird kind of gathering. So
very odd.
I kind of get it, but I think this is. I was expecting this to have been announced ages ago. I thought it seems it's taken people a while to make this.
Yeah, and
because I was expecting once the Snyder Cut was out, we'd start to get
the
stuff.
Snyder Cut,
Yeah, 100%. Cool. And then we got the Hot Toys Fennec Shand for 204 quid out April to June. So if I hadn't cancelled my Boba, probably would have pre-ordered it, but I'm not. But this has the first Book of Boba Fett figure. I think it's a really good one.
Yeah, Scott's fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm warming to her as well. Like, she's quite a good character. So
she is. So,
I'm liking it.
Evening to Ian CB, all right, mate. Why has Ian got a red side Mohican? I think it's
the headphones. It's a bit of padding against my bald head.
Yeah, that's funny because people will say they were talking about Book of Boba on After Dark last night, and saying that Boba's turned into a bit of a wuss, and Fennec's the one that's in his boss. She's calling.
But why the dog and bark yourself?
Yeah.
If he's meant to be a dynamo, he's not meant to be doing much, is he?
No. I suppose not. No.
Apart from getting his ass kicked.
Major Domo.
Domo. That's it. Domo. Yeah. So if it would kind of defeat the point of kicking everyone's ass yourself if you're meant to be the one in charge. You might as well then not bother.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was going to be originally. I thought it was going to be like an anthology type thing, like him, as it was, because I don't quite get the title, the Book of Boba Fett.
No.
I thought it was going to be like looking back at, his bounty.
Yeah, it's a bit odd.
Or something.
We have a little chat about it in the film section, but it's not thrilling me, to be honest. Daimyo. Oh yeah, Daimyo. Okay. Right.
But yeah, I quite like the figure. The figure's good. I think.
Yeah.
I think if they release more Book of Boba Fett figures, it's one, and I pick up a Book of Boba, then I'll definitely come back and look at this again a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
I'm hard up for removable helmet figures, so I'm getting this. Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, I bet that whole headpiece comes off, like the hair or something, to get that helmet on.
You'd have to, and then.
Or is that a separate? Mind you, they might as well just give you. It's a set of fucking eyes. They might as well just give you a separate sculpt.
I think so, because the risk of damaging the sculpt is this isn't one of those 3 3/4 from 30, 40 years ago with a nice soft rubber helmet that you can just plonk on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, thank you, Brenton, because we were shit before he turned up. But yeah, Fennec's good, so we can agree on that. And then we got the Black H Studios Petroleum Man for £109 at Q3 to 4 2022. I just couldn't give the tiniest of shits.
It's just funny. It's another one of this list that these companies are going down of all like the high end custom figures that have been out there. This one's just the next one on there. We even had the Grinch. We didn't even bother with him because we just fed up with that. But the head sculpt is
such a fucking stupid release. The thing is, they put it up for pre-order right at Christmas. So the cunt's going to come out mid-year, and everyone's going to go, "What the fuck have you bought a Grinch in like June? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? What are you going to do with it? Like, box it up for another 6 months? Like, fuck off."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Shake. And where's a bowling pin and stuff. I quite like it's a good film. It's a great performance by Daniel Day-Lewis. Figure looks good, but again, it's just one of these ones where they think, what are people paying thousands of pounds for? I know we'll do this. I mean, I assume there might be some people that want him, but it's a film from 10 years ago, and
it's such a weird one to make a figure of.
Yeah.
Like when the custom lot were doing it, it was all a bit poncy and a bit, oh look at us, this isn't cinema, it's art and all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
And now it's just getting mass produced. I'm like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
I just can't see a lot of people going for it.
No.
And then we have the Playtoy Elita Sports Gear out June 2022. Now, the only company I could find that had a price for this was some French company that had it for 236 quid. Now, I don't believe that for a fucking second, because it's just some add-on gear for a pre-existing figure. As far as is it? Because I don't read French,
I don't know.
and I couldn't find a lot.
Figure, but
is it a full? If it's a full figure, then that's not so bad. But
it doesn't. It looks different to the Hot Toys one, so
I'm assuming it's a figure as well. Hot Toys one, if I'm honest.
But then,
it's a figure. It's not too bad.
As a third party, it still seems quite high.
I mean, the film was all right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong; it was okay.
I still haven't watched it yet. I've got it, and I just.
It's fine. It looks quite good, and it's all very flashy. But they haven't announced a second one. It's kind of left at a point where you're like, they kind of need to make a second. So I just don't see the point. Like, watch it if there's absolutely nothing else on. But it's just you kind of watch and go, okay, I've seen it now, and yeah, it's okay.
There's a question here. I don't know. We haven't got this on the show. Did you guys already go over the Poison, whatever the hell name from ADD Toys for the third party Eddie?
So
Brock?
we added it. We added it on the show sheet, and I took it off because it's a piece of shit. It's
Is it just like a black splurge that you just?
it's another Eddie Brock. You know, I agree with Eddie. I was listening to the boys on the last show, and like Eddie said, I don't understand why we have so many Eddie Brock figures. I get Venom because you can fudge that. You know, if you want a comic book Venom or you want a Venom, that will do you. But I just don't understand the fascination with the Tom Hardy fucking Venom. Like
No, I mean,
like
neither. I mean, I haven't seen the second film, but as I understand it, it's not great. And I wasn't a massive
shit, so it's put me off watching it.
And I wasn't a massive fan of the first one, to be honest. But I think people just so desperately want for it to be good, and obviously Tom Hardy is a great actor. I don't. The demand can't be fueled by the movies themselves. It's just that people love Venom as a character, I think, and obviously Tom Hardy is Eddie Brock. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out, isn't there?
Yeah, quite a bit. So it's it's just is what it is. It was on the show sheet, and I just thought I just can't be asked for this, took it off. So we spoke about this on Ringcast. The Asmus Nazgul,
yes,
£151, April to June 2022. It's like I said before, it's good. It's okay. Doesn't offend me.
No, so it's a re-release. They brought these out. These were one of the early figures that Asmus did when they got the license took over from ACI, and I think back then it had the usual issue of a lot of the bodies were quite floppy. You couldn't hold a pose, and obviously with the die-cast weapons, it was a bit of a problem.
Got no chance.
No, so they've kind of gone. What I find funny is that they don't trust their own bodies, so they've got a Coup model body, who are obviously the kind of the leading name in all of this die-cast armour, a lot of the historic stuff and everything, which is fantastic. I love Coup model stuff. So they've got a Coup model body, and they've got a lot of die-cast alloy armour and weapons. I think what's interesting is obviously this is kind of hot on the heels of the SYY Toys unlicensed one, which I've actually got on pre-order, because it's a cool figure, but I think the old ones before Asmus announced this were going for stupid money, and at the end of the day you're getting it's a faceless figure in a cloak with some nice weapons. So I wasn't prepared to pay that, but then when the SYY Toys one came out, and I think it's only going to cost me about £110 or something. So I thought I'll have a go on that, because how bad can it be? And that's got some alloy die-cast armour and weapons as well. But obviously, Asmus have seen that and gone, well, let's re-release our one with some updated body and bits and pieces for not a lot more, 30-40 quid more than the unlicensed.
It's kind of like I said on Ringcast, I just don't see the point in it being in it having any die-cast. Look at the picture on the left.
You can't see it.
Where is it? You can't fucking see
exactly.
it. He's got a cloak over it all.
Yes.
It just seems... I just don't get it. I don't understand,
No.
It makes no sense. I think I get it with Iron Man figures, but not everything is an Iron Man. Not everything needs to be...
dirty
and I'm not being funny. You put a plastic figure on a shelf, and you put a die-cast figure on a shelf that are both made at the same time, both painted, and you can't tell the fucking difference. It's only when you pick it up and go, oh, this doesn't feel like a toy. I suddenly feel like a proper grown-up collector now. Not a grown man who plays with dollies. And then it kind of makes you feel better, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I am a fan of die-cast weapons because I think they just look better. They plastic swords sometimes they come warped, and they are.
Yeah, so I'll give you that. Weapons. Yeah. Weapons would make sense.
Yeah, I do like the and as long as you've got the joints are stiff enough to be able to hold those weapons, which was the problem with the early Asmus ones. Then I completely get it with the armor because you can't see it, and you only ever see like a hand, a gauntlet or a foot or something in the films, and it's a bit. And obviously, people say, "Oh, I want 9 of these to do the whole." Well, it's a lot of money.
A lot.
And that is just literally going to be, I assume, just a black ball under that cloak as well. So,
you won't.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what I think the SYY Toys one's meant to be out fairly soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing what, and I think 110 quid. How bad can it be? And I think it looks alright. Actually, so
can't be any worse than the first release.
No.
So we now have the Org Toys Paul Atreides for 187 quid at Q4 2022. Proper licensed figure as well. Not bad. I think this will be quite popular, but they need to do more.
Yeah,
they need a few more.
They teased is it Josh Hartnett? I think figure as well. What's he called?
Didn't see that.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen a render or a shot of I forget what he's called now, but he's kind of.
Is he the character that Patrick Stewart played in the?
Yeah.
In the
no, not Patrick Stewart. The other guy. Yeah, but it's I can't remember his name, but the definitely. So I think there's that's it, Gurney.
Oh, okay.
So I think,
yeah.
I think Josh Brady. Yes, I think there's intent there to do some more. If this one does well.
Cool. Yeah, I think this is. I'm surprised because Zach must have pre-ordered this.
He does love it.
Has to have.
Yeah,
absolutely has to have. But yeah, it does the job. So we also have so this is another one I don't quite understand. It's like the boat is well and truly got sailed for this one.
Yeah.
This is the Longshan Jinsu Man in Black. So he's 145 quid at Q2 22, and then you can get his horse for 145. But what they truly need is a fucking time machine, so we can go back a couple of years when anyone actually gave a shit about this, and then released it. Because at this point,
Mark's talking about a horse for his Nazgul. There you go. And all you got to do is stick a couple of nails in its hooves. Works. No, I think obviously back in the day, everyone went batshit for this figure, and there was loads of customs. And
I did a custom one of this 5 years ago.
Yes. Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Why now? Like,
I know. It's
now?
Weird. Yeah, I suppose maybe they're seeing how everyone's been loving the Lim Toys Gunslinger. And,
it could be.
Yeah, it just stuck a little bit of hair on the sides. That's a good shout. I mean, the horse looks okay. If you're looking for a horse, I suppose it's another
nice cowboy horse. And the horse, actually, as horses go, 145 isn't too bad a price.
It's not bad, no.
So there's probably use.
But yeah, just funny that again, like I think everyone's forgotten about Westworld. I think it started off well and it just dragged itself into.
First season was fantastic.
First season was brilliant. I didn't mind some of the second, but that third one was drivel, and it doesn't look like it's coming back again. So
no. Nope.
And then another weird one. I just like this guy. I think it's funny.
This is the coup model, the Jihad Pontifex for 200 quid at Q2 2022. So you've got your priest and then your armoured battle priest. So
So I believe it's meant to be like a Warhammer type thing, isn't it? And it was based off some cosplay thing that somebody did. Yeah. It's not in any way of any factual relevance at all.
I guess that.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's like a cosplay that someone did of like a fantasy gaming or whatever.
Well, originally they were going to call it the Armoured Molester, but they thought they won't do that.
yeah, exactly. I just thought it looked really cool. He's just something really odd and crazy. I like his big mace, his Sauron mace. The warrior pope, yeah. But,
it is so fucking strange. It is a weird.
It is very strange, yeah. Because you can get it. That's the legendary version. I think you can get him on his own, just in his
his
priest fiddler outfit. Yeah, which I don't see the point in that. But I like the fact that his helmet is the bishop's mitre, but in metal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's a weird
it's
one.
Funny. But,
it is a weird one.
And particularly the Coup model, because they're normally quite, their stuff's very quite historically accurate, and they go with proper armours and stuff like that. And this one's like, well, okay,
yeah, it's a bit random.
Yeah,
a bit random. But yeah, and then this doesn't look too bad. Yes, it's a bit random. The ZCWO Charlie Chaplin, £200 at Q1 2022. It's for 100th anniversary of the Tramp, I assume.
Is it?
Yep, all licensed.
Yeah, because again, I mean, at least I've never seen any customs of Charlie Chaplin. So at least it's something new.
But does that give you a hint that no one really wants it?
Yeah, it does.
People have
I don't know who's going to buy it because Big Chief are supposed to have the Laurel and Hardy out, aren't they? But they're just never materialised up till now.
See, it makes you wonder if they don't just like plug these in like certain groups or in, because obviously like people who don't collect figures would see this, who are diehard like Charlie Chaplin fans, like fuck know who they are, but they might see it and go, oh fucking that's amazing, I want it, So I guess it's probably kind of they're going for those one-off people who don't really collect.
Correct.
Cases full of them. They're
just like the Freddie Mercury figures. Someone's a massive Queen fan and they buy that one figure and that's it, kind of thing. Are there any Chaplin fans still alive? Yeah, that's a good point, Econ. Yeah,
it's a good shout.
Yeah, he's not really current, is he?
No.
But
no.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a random one.
Another weird one, but. I think the market's really kind of like buoyant at the moment, and there's just so much stuff coming out, and there's like literally something for everyone. So it's a good time to be collecting, I think. Apart from the fact that the prices are just getting bloody ridiculous.
I'm always hearing Chaplin fans ask for collectibles. Yeah. I know.
There's not a lot out there, Mark. It's an untapped market.
I'm trying to think of like the most obscure like 1920s actor that they will make some kind of figure of next.
Commando Gandhi.
Commando Gandhi. Yeah, he's just got a giant slipper and one tiny ear. You can't even hear a Chaplin fan silent movie.
Yeah,
I like that. But swiftly moving on, otherwise we're going to... Oh, hang on. Oh, you can't come here and abuse the elderly like that. I used to watch Charlie Chaplin in person.
See, I love all this because I'm a couple of years older than Mario, but I think it's his beard that people think he's some sort of ancient god or something.
Mario's really 25. He's just had a really hard life.
Yeah, so he gets all the elderly abuse, and it kind of passes me by, which is quite nice.
See, you fucking said it now, so that'd be it. It'd be just you and Mario, the fucking pensioners of the network.
Well, someone's got to bring a little bit of class to the to proceedings. Keep you young whippersnappers in check.
It definitely ain't us. So, apart from Pete being very decrepit and elderly, we have the X06 have teased Locutus aboard the First Contact version
Yes.
And
so
what else? The what dress uniform?
Oh, I'll tell you a bit in a minute. So Locutus, is their like latest line of their new figures and everything. They've gone with I believe it's branded as the First Contact version because it's got less. I think the original one he's like a lot more of his face was covered when he was assimilated in was it Best of Both Worlds. So that's all I've seen at the moment is the head sculpt, but it looks cool. Because I think this is the version. Because I think when he was originally, because this is just a dream, isn't it? In First Contact, he's got like flashbacks and stuff. Because I didn't realise they gave him like a robot arm, didn't they? But what did they do with his actual arm? Did they cut it off?
That's what I don't get. Because he had the weird. He had the spinning tin opener, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And I'd forgotten, and then I looked at the photos, and I was like, "Well, you can't have his real arm in there." So I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Whereas I think
they gloss over that.
Yeah, and I think in the flashback when he's having these nightmares in First Contact, he doesn't got that. I think so. That's why it's probably a bit easier to make this one. But I think it's good. Yeah, the
problem was they were just going to give him a hook, but they thought they couldn't do that because he would literally be called Captain Hook. So they just went, no, can't do that. Give him a hand. Yeah.
The other thing which you can't read because it's tiny is basically it's Nanjin who's heading up obviously the Exo 6 stuff. That is him testing materials for the original cast's movie uniforms. So Ruther Khan through to Undiscovered Country, and these are the ones that I will order. I mean, he's saying this will be the most expensive 1/6 Trek we will ever make, so I'm a bit worried about
why.
I guess I mean I think the tailoring is going to be quite intricate on them, but because he made some customs back in the day when he was sort of making low run custom figures where he kind of started, and he did the Ruther Khan figures, and they look really good, and that was with head sculpts from 10-15 years ago. So I would definitely want the Holy Trinity in these outfits.
But how are they going to be more expensive to make than Locutus?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. But he's always kind of said that they're going to be really expensive to make those uniforms.
I mean, there must be a reason. I'm just generally curious as to how you can have a full blown Borg with wires and flashing lights and all kinds of nonsense.
Yeah,
then some old men in effectively dresses.
Yeah, but all this stuff's been around the sort of 180 mark. So I don't know what they mean about but I'm excited because I'd love to have. And he was saying it could be from Ruther Khan, it could be from Undiscovered Country, which basically is very similar uniforms. But I think if I was going to get any Trek figures back, then it would be from the original cast movies.
It's not gold stitching. Yeah, solid gold.
Yeah. Be nice if they made the those big jackets that they wore when they go down onto the planet or whatever, with the big collars, those kind of things. So just he's very active on the forums and stuff, Nanjin, and there's just stuff coming out like bang bang bang. So I always have a look in there, see what's going on, and a lot of people have been asking about these figures, and obviously he's actually
cracking on.
Yeah, some movement on that, so hopefully we'll see something
cool,
a bit more concrete soon.
Cool. So we got to that point where we're going to say a big thank you to our sponsors, and hopefully Pete's not going to burp or shit his pants halfway through.
No, I've got all that out of my system.
Because now we know how old you are, Pete. We have to we worry about you.
Yeah.
If you're just going to let it suddenly go.
Well, what I have realised is obviously there is a break in between those two adverts, so I will refrain from doing anything in that.
Use your flatulence while the adverts are actually playing, not the gap.
Yeah.
Cool. So, here we go.
Only Fools and Collecting is brought to you by Watto's Scrapyard. They 3D print parts for your hard-to-come-by Kenner vehicles. They 3D print 1/12 and 1/6 scale head sculpts from a massive back catalogue. If there is a particular character you want, he can design and 3D print it for you for a reasonable price. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram.
Don't do it, Pete.
Backdrops and bases displays are printed directly to substrate on foam display board using UV matte inks, so there is no fade or glare. The nameplates are precision etched using their in-house laser machine. They offer a very bespoke service designing displays and nameplates to your requirements. You can contact Backdrops and Bases via their Facebook page, Backdrops and Bases.
I actually belched just before it.
It was just before, not in between.
Yeah, just before. So that was okay.
Top man. Cool. So let's go straight into
Shenanigans! Shenanigans! Shenanigans!
What? So, what have we got, Mr. Peter?
Yeah. So I mean, they're not necessarily all shenanigans, but I thought they're not really figure releases or actual. So I thought I'd stick them in here, just some bits and pieces. So the first one was present toys of I don't know. Have we seen some before? I think this is a recent tease. This boxer.
I think I seem to remember it, but
yeah.
I couldn't remember if we spoke about it or not. The problem is, because it's been about 3 or 4 different versions of this figure, I get confused. They all look the same.
Yeah. So I when I saw it, I hadn't seen this one before, so I assume it's a fairly recent announcement. It looks okay. But then obviously we've got a post from Slice Stallone's shop saying, "Hello, since you're selling this unlicensed Sylvester Stallone Rocky figure, we will have this Facebook page shut down if this post stays up."
And then he's put his name on it.
Yeah, he has, yeah. I'm Nick.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
it's an interesting
you're new
one,
to this, aren't you, Nick?
Yeah. Because there's always this. I mean, there's always this unlicensed stuff, and obviously Stallone's got involved, but then we weren't sure whether he actually had licenses to the movies or the characters or just himself as that character. So that was quite funny, and then obviously it's led into, there was a couple of days ago there was a post saying that the Rambo figure that's coming from Stallone, the Stallone Studios, he's going to be doing an unboxing of it, the man himself, Sylvester Stallone, so that could be quite interesting.
They're going to have to subtitle it. No one's going to understand a fucking word he's saying. So no one's going to understand a fucking word.
No. And obviously here we've got John James Rambo, so it's not, it doesn't appear to be licensed to the movie, or so it's always funny. But it looks like an interesting figure. I quite like. Be good to see what it looks like, the production version. Obviously, there he's looking into the handle of his knife,
like you do.
Well, yeah,
it's a flick knife that's loose.
Yeah.
Ow. The thing is that thing with this Nick guy, that's just a red flag to a ball. Like, if you're going to try, if you message them, don't put it. Don't post it like that, because otherwise all that happens is people don't go, "Oh yes, present toys, you've been very naughty." Everyone just goes, "Nick, you knobhead." Like, don't. Like, it kind of has the reverse effect of what you want. Like, you're well within your right to do whatever you want and get that done. But you just think, that doesn't really make me want to jump on and support Stallone shop.
he's put his name on there to give it because people think, oh, he's put his name on. I bet he's a real person. He's gonna come and get me.
All that does is makes me think Nick's new to social media here, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
he's never run a company account before, has he?
No, it's just funny. He's like, I put my name on this. Yeah. I'm that annoyed.
Yeah. It makes it official.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he didn't just write it all in caps.
Yeah, just Rocky in caps.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's just the boxer. We haven't called him Rocky.
Yeah.
And then the So Toys, who are just banging the stuff out at the moment. They've shown a Brandon Routh Superman sculpt, which looks pretty good from the half a face I can see, and people speculating whether or not it's going to be like from the Superman Returns movie, or whether it would be the Kingdom Come version from the.
I'd laugh my tits off if it's from the CW show where he played the Shrinking Man, the Atom guy.
Okay.
Because he played him.
Did he?
He played him in that, yeah. I'd laugh my tits off. Everyone's like, it's Superman. So like, no.
Or it could be the vegan man, or whatever he's from Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, with the white hair.
Yeah.
Everyone's desperate for Superman.
Because I quite liked him as Superman. I didn't rate the film particularly, but I quite liked it. I thought he was quite good, and he probably got a bit of a bum rap with that film, and obviously didn't kind of carry on.
Problem
with it.
is because it was meant to be, he was effectively Reeves. That was the whole idea of it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was meant to be, carrying on from those films.
Yeah.
They should have just rebooted it and had him as Superman. They shouldn't have.
Maybe he was trying to. Two bigger boots to fill, kind of thing, and then I think they went.
The thing that I thought was weird was if they were going to carry it on, don't make it modern.
Yeah.
The films were set years ago, so have your next film set fucking years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
When they do that, it doesn't make sense to me. So you've already kind of rebooted it, but not.
It was shot in quite a nice way. It kind of had a feel of the 70s Reeve movies and stuff, and. But yeah, I think as Superman, I quite liked him. So, be interested to see what they do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Ash Williams, Asmus.
So are we all sitting comfortably?
As you have put some money where your mouth is on this one.
I have. I went for the luxury set. Luckily, so I first ordered it with. So this is the thing that people don't quite get as well is when they first announced this, they announced the luxury set, which was quite luxurious, and it was limited to 666 pieces. So you could only get it from Asmus and Sideshow. That was it. That was all. That was the only place stocking it. So I went with Sideshow because I had points and I'd used them for other stuff. I'd never ordered from Asmus before. Fucking glad I didn't, but so I placed it with them, and then suddenly, about 2 weeks later, the whole world and his wife started soliciting that they can get there. Yeah. So I cancelled my one with Sideshow and went with Good, the Bad and Robots here in the UK. So they haven't had their allocated stock through yet, so I've not been invoiced yet. People have started to get their invoices and they've started to get their figures. Now, the caveat to all of this is so far all the photos have been off one Instagram post. That's it. All their photos that haven't come from Asmus are from this one Instagram post, and they spread like wildfire. So in the next couple of weeks, I'm expecting to see a lot more people getting theirs in hand, and I'm starting to and I would normally expect to see maybe some slightly different variation in quality, because what's happened so far is the figure looks massively different to the promo. The nameplate, which is a sticker, is misspelled, and it just looks completely different.
It's misspelled on the box as well, isn't it?
It's misspelled on the box.
Yeah.
Henrietta has no hair, and
no.
I don't think Henrietta looks different. I think it's painted completely different, which has thrown it off. Yeah. Which ties in with the rest of the figure because the sculpt doesn't look as good as the promo. The weathering, it's weathered more, which, to be fair, I like that part. The weathering doesn't bother me too much. And there seemed to be this white glue coming out of the bottom of the chainsaw along the seam.
Yeah.
So there's a plethora of stuff going wrong with this. Now, the standard was about 150 quid, and you get an Ash that doesn't quite make sense, because where he's standing there, he's got the full rig on.
Yeah.
That makes no sense if you've seen the film, because at that point when he gets the rig, he's got a ripped up shirt and he's all fucked up.
Yeah.
Because on my phone, I've got a photo actually. Because on the luxury edition, you get a shit ton of stuff. So my plan is generally, so in the luxury edition, right, you get the Book of the Dead, you get the Henrietta sculpt, you get his girlfriend's head to put into the vice.
Yeah.
You get a Deadeye Ash sculpt, which doesn't look that great, even on the promo photos, doesn't look that great. You get the Kandarian dagger, the zombie hand, you get a bandage hand piece that you can put over all these different fucking hands, and you get the massive base. You then get a seamless arm and a shirt. So that shirt he's wearing there, you get a ripped shirt and a seamless arm. So you can have the proper look. Now, I'm not going to cancel, because I want the base. The base looks fantastic, and with Henrietta, she's literally she just sits in the floor and her arms hanging out. So I can fix Henrietta, I can repaint that, I can hair it if they all turn up without hair and looking that shit.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
looking like
conscious
that
of
might
it's just
be
the one.
an anomaly. That one, yeah. Someone forgot to do it, I think, and
it's made its way out.
But
But
the main thing is all of them, and they've put out anything that hasn't shipped yet. It's going to go out with a new sticker to stick over the base and a sticker to stick on the box.
But Hot Toys have done that 2 or 3 times last year.
Yeah, they have.
That, that I can forgive the misspelling if they're going to put it right. That's not a problem. But for me, the figure looks completely different. So that photo on the left and that photo on the right are 2 different figures.
Yeah. Because the bodies are, well, they're not different, but the one you get with the standard figure doesn't have any of the damage,
scratches,
blood or anything, because obviously because you don't get the open shirt with it.
So that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the open shirt, you don't need those.
No.
So that I get that bit, but I'm hoping it is literally just a handful that have turned out that shit.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got like my Ash that I've got. I spent a lot of time in aggro, fucking about with it, but I'm not intending to get rid of. So my Ash, right, is the Sideshow one with a seamless body, and although the head's a bit cartoony, I've got no intention of getting rid of that. So I want the base just so I can swap them about.
Because your one looks like he does at the start of Army of Darkness, because I know they go straight into that movie from with his boomstick.
Yeah, they do. So at the end of the film, because the thing is, when you go through, because I love these films, so I've watched them hundreds of times. Throughout the film, he changes his appearance so much. Like, his clothes get more and more fucked the further you go through the film.
Yeah.
So at the very end, when they make the evil solid so they can actually fight it, he's all ripped up. He's got a big grey streak through his hair because he looks at it. The flowers behind him die, and he's all like, everyone's like, "Oh fuck!" And he tells the bird who's reading from the book, "Don't look at it." So she carries on reading. He's absolutely fucked by the end of the film. He's completely fucking caked in shit. But he's been thrown in mud. He's been thrown down in the cellar. He's been absolutely fucked. So if you bought the standard edition to this, it makes no sense because he's very clean. And it's more him from kind of the beginning of the film where shit just starts to hit the fan. Hit the fan. He's not even cut his hand off yet.
Yeah.
The luxury one where you get the torn shirt and stuff is more kind of midway through the film. The look you really want is right at the end where he's gone proper badass, and he's got the sawn off shotgun. He's got the fucking chainsaw in his hand. He's fucking covered in claret. He's covered in dried up mud and shit and dust, and he's had enough of it. So I'm
seeing a lot of Fergal Sharkey in that final product sculpt, which isn't good.
The scope's fucking awful. He looks like the guy from Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
In fact, if you want a Paul Atreides from the 1980s Dune, you could probably get away with this. The head sculpt's just too cartoony, and I'm saying that, and I am the Sideshow one, which is very cartoony, and Bruce Campbell is very, very hard to sculpt, to get right. Like, lots of people have tried and lots of people have failed. He's easier when he's older. Younger, it's not great. But so my plan when this comes through is to effectively part out the figure and go and sell the figure off and just keep the base and all the bits for it, because that's all I want. I don't really want the figure anymore, because originally I was going to get it, see what it was like. If there was anything I could do to get it looking anywhere near like my Sideshow one, I was going to nick bits off it and mess about with it. But I've got no. And
that Sideshow one, although it's a little bit it's a fairly recent release, isn't it? It's not a really old one. You've got a really old one, like the Quickie Mart one's like one of their old ones, isn't it? But
Sideshow have done 3 versions of Ash so far. So they've done the old ones were the Evil Dead 3 Ash, and they did a good Ash and an evil Ash. So the good Ash from that is the Evil Dead 3 with the big tunic and stuff. Which, if you you're pretty much buying it for the clothing and the chainsaw, really. Because you swap it and you get a new sculpt, because the old Sideshow sculpts don't have lips and they're fucking huge and they're just appalling. And then they did this Evil Dead 2 Ash. So my only complaint with this one is the shotgun is fucking appalling, because it's so fragile that the trigger all just snaps off and breaks.
Oh really? Is it not like a fairly generic one that you could get from, like, just get a DID one or something? Or...
Literally, I've looked all over, and if anyone can send me a link to it, I would love them forever, because I've been looking for a double barrel shotgun like this for fucking ages, right? Because all this bit just snaps.
Like in real life,
I can find out, and I have known in the past, and I have googled it and tried to find one, but I can never find one. The problem is a lot of the 6-scale shotguns you get never have that stock. They've always got like an actual grip, like an actual handle, so it makes it a pain in the ass. Because I was thinking, actually, I could take the shotgun from this, but then no one's going to want to buy it with a fucking broken shotgun, so I'll have to just fucking get rid of that. But I was very disappointed, because the thing that annoys me more than anything is they've got this Evil Dead 2 line. I want a full Henrietta, right? I want a full 6-scale Henrietta would be amazing. The way this has gone, I ain't going to get that. I'm not going to get any.
It annoys me because I do like Asmus. I like the Lord of the Rings line, and I do defend them quite a lot on podcasts and groups and everything. But this is just a bit like, they've got haters, and this just doesn't do them any favours, really.
And the thing is, like, Evil Dead is such it's a really popular franchise, like, and people have wanted decent stuff for quite some time. So when you see someone like Asmus who's got the license, you're like, fucking brilliant, we're going to start to get some decent stuff through. And then you start to see like this shit coming through. Like, and don't get me wrong, every company, their promo stuff is better than what's actually released. It always looks better. But this is just such... I mean, when you look at... So ignoring the hair, because I generally think the hair must be a mistake. Look at the paint difference between the two.
Yeah.
Is ridiculous.
Bad. Yeah.
And like the sculpts, and it just... There's no texture on the sculpts. It's just one flat flesh colour. Yeah. You know, it's just not good. Not great. And it literally makes me go, that Lego lass, I want to fucking burn that now. And that's nothing to do with this, but I'm just like, fuck you, Asmus.
Yeah, yeah. I think
proper disappointed.
Yeah, it's a shame.
It's not cheap.
Because I know how excited we were for it when they released it, and we chatted about it for ages. And
And like you said, it's not cheap. 350 quid. And that's without postage. So I've already paid postage and my deposit.
Wow.
So it's closer to 4. Yeah. And you kind of think, the fuck are you doing to me? Like, I'm paying that for a base. I'm hoping I can get most of my money back.
Price. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping I can get a chunk of my money back. But, just horseshit.
So, Manny said, I wonder if Hot Toys will tackle another horror figure. The real question is what would be next. I think on the back of the Pennywise, although he's taken the poor sod like 3 years to come out, I think it's like we were saying earlier. I think it looks fantastic, and it's been very well received. So they've obviously they can do it, and there's still a market for that kind of thing. It'd be nice to see him do a Freddy.
I'd like to see him do a Michael Myers, like from the new film, from Halloween Kills or something like that. Because I'm not huge into horror. Like Evil Dead is probably my one horror kind of franchise that I will that I love. But I can't think of anything, because Hot Toys, I think they're strange at the moment because they're only really doing new franchises. They're not really going back doing anything. No, to be hard.
No. And the thing with horror, like, there's millions and millions of horror films, but in terms of the
I don't think it would cost too much, Mark. Not just for the single. Don't get me wrong. You ain't getting the base off me. That I'm having that, but the rest of it, I don't think it costs too much.
Yeah, it might not be too bad. What's the saying? That really, there's not that many. Like for the mainstream people, there's not that many horror icons, and they've all been done to death. Freddy Krueger, Leatherface, Jason,
Ghostface, and all that.
Ghostface, Michael Myers,
all the faces.
Beyond that, there's not as many, of these well-known icons that people would look to make figures of, I think. So it's always a difficult one, and there's so many options for all of those figures now that I suppose, unless there was something new came along, and I think the Pennywise one was a bit of out of left field anyway when they.
It's a bit of a shock. I didn't expect it,
and it was kind of thinking like, is it ever going to come out? I don't know why it was delayed so long, but I don't know. I think probably not, but who knows? Who knows?
Pop that back.
Go on, play your favourite video.
Oh yes, Custom Corner. Oh, sorry, I was too busy sulking over this fucking appalling piece of shit. Right.
Custom Corner.
The more I look at it, the more I'm like, fuck you, Asmus. Fuck you.
Yeah, I can totally understand. Yeah, it's just So anyway, you've done another Vader.
Yes, I've done another Vader. So this one was cobbled together out of spare pieces, actually. So I had in my part box the Sideshow helmet that was just knocking about, and I thought, I've done a couple of these damaged type fucking masks for other people, and I thought, fuck it, I'll do one for myself. So I took a Dremel to it, and because the Sideshow mask is hollow, they just give you a blank head that kind of sits in it. So I had a spare one of these Sebastian Shaw ones that I printed.
Okay, yeah.
So it's literally got one of those inside it. So because it's hollow, I just cut it away, and I literally cut the sculpt in half, so it just made it easier for me to move shit about. Yeah, and then popped it in, and I was toying with the idea of putting LEDs in there, like little red LEDs.
Okay, yeah.
But I just couldn't be arsed in the end because I don't like light out features. So
no,
I did that because I did that at the same time as I did this one, which I probably should have sent a photo around, which is a Rebels one, which is that one.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you're going to focus or I'll bring it back here. So yeah, which is exactly the same principle. It's just a blank, completely blank. You just shove a sculpt up inside it. because I'm tempted with that one is to pop out the head that's in there and put this Hayden Christensen one in, because you only see the eye and that, and I think that might work a bit better. But I need to stop with Vader's myself, because I've now got my Vader's now got 6 different heads. Like, I've just gone, I do want them for myself. Knock it up, do it, go, yeah, I like that. Do that one, oh, I like that. So, I need to... Because originally I was going to do this with the actual official Hot Toys head. But I thought, if I've got this knocking about, and the Sideshow... Because the problem is with the Sideshow head is it's... With the Sideshow mask and dome is it's pretty big. So it's not really scaled up properly, but for this it will do. It is passable. It will do. So that's pretty much all. Over Christmas I was like, right, I've got loads of commission work to do. I need to knuckle down. I need to fucking get on with it. I've got all this shit I want to paint, and I ended up not doing hardly anything. I literally did hardly anything over Christmas, and I was like, you're knobhead. You're absolute knobhead. So at the weekend, I'm going to try and get done a complete battle damage Vader for someone. Try and get that finished off. Cool. And then I've got sculpts and shit to paint.
Just as a quick mention, because we saw a picture earlier, I haven't got it here. The Rocco has done an indie sculpt, and he's reworked an indie sculpt, which I believe there's going to be like a production version in association with 1/6 kit. But for the moment, he's selling unpainted sculpts, and a couple of paint ups we'd seen before didn't look that great, because I think Kit did one himself, and he was admitted that he wasn't the world's best painter. But we saw one today that actually looked quite good. Didn't have the hat on, and that can really change the look of a figure. But I don't know, I was quite impressed with it. I thought it looked quite good actually. So obviously you can buy the unpainted sculpts direct from Rocco at the moment, but I'm interested to see how the collaboration with Kit turns out, because they did really well with the Treasure Hunter and the Space Trucker sculpts they had on there before at a really good price as well. So if it's going to be something similar,
interesting to see.
Yeah, then it's it's a good sort of opportunity for people with old DX05s and stuff who haven't got round to updating the head sculpt to have another option. So yeah.
Yes, it will be good.
Right. So film and TV. It's been Christmas, so we've been watching a lot of telly.
A shit ton of telly.
Yeah,
a shit ton.
This is just skimming the surface. This is just like I'm sure we've both watched tons more stuff. Just finished Dexter, New Blood. That was brilliant.
I haven't. I stopped after. Is it Lisco was in it?
Yeah, Trinity. Yeah, that was the best. Yeah. That was the best season anyway. But there's a lot of flashbacks and stuff to that one, because it's kind of like Harrison comes back, his son who witnessed the murder of his mother and stuff like that. But it was really good. It was really good. It was good they brought it back, because it ended up, the ending of it, of like the final season 8 or whatever it was pretty lame. So I think it's a nice little
finished it off properly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It was good. So we both saw Spider-Man over the Christmas holidays. I think we both loved it. You said it was your favourite Marvel film to date. So that's
So I was adamant. I was going to wait for it. That's high praise, Carden. I was adamant. I was going to wait until it came out on Blu-ray, and then So I boxed it clever with all the bank holidays we had over Christmas. So I had quite a long time off, and I started climbing the walls. I was getting fucking bored. And I had my boy to myself one day, and I was like, fuck it, let's have a look. And so I booked, it was his first like IMAX experience.
Right, well,
and he absolutely loved it. He walked in and he like literally was like, that is massive, because he's never seen an IMAX screen. He's like, it goes floor to ceiling. I said,
which one did you go to?
We went to, it was just a 2D IMAX, didn't take into a 3D one.
No.
So we just did 2D, but
we went
and like. Went like 10 in the morning. So the only people there were people that were going to want to watch the film. There was no one who was just coming and being a knob for
a time.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. Absolutely loved it, and he loved it, and that's what's kicked off this whole Spider-Man mentalness in the house at the moment, because he's proper into it. And the thing is, like, I went in knowing that these other Spider-Men were going to be in it, because they couldn't not be at that point.
No.
But I think the way they did it was really good. It made me, because we'd gone back and we watched like Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and my boy was like, "Can we watch 3?" There isn't 3. There isn't a third. And he was like, oh, like he was really a bit disappointed. So this was a nice way to kind of finish that off.
Yeah.
And I didn't. And as I was sitting there watching it, my only little quibble, and the only thing I don't quite understand, which no one can quite explain to me, is how the fuck did they drag Tom Hardy into that?
Yeah, I know.
Universe.
Yeah.
Because it's meant to be everyone that knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a Peter Parker or a Spider-Man in his universe.
No.
So how did he get pulled across? Or was it just because Venom's meant to know absolutely everything from every fucking universe, and he's just a dick and doesn't tell him anything? Like, I thought that was...
There probably wasn't. There probably isn't any rhyme or reason for it.
No. It just seemed like a way to get a symbiote into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I suppose, I don't know, there's no reason why they couldn't exist in the same universe. Because then he just isn't aware of him. I don't know.
They well, you would know. Like if there was someone swinging around New York now,
true,
we would know. Like,
I guess so, yeah. Yeah.
So Venom knows through Hive Mind. It's shown in the comics. I'm not on about the comics. I'm on about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and what we saw on screen. Why was he pulled through? If that's explained anywhere in the new, because I haven't seen the last Venom film, so
no,
you know.
Oh, there'll be some. There'll
be something.
They'll explain it somehow. But I thought it was quite cool.
Here we go. The symbiote knows because the symbiote knows across multiverses. Okay. Bit woolly, but okay. Right, so crazy amount of knowledge or something in Venom 2, I'm sure that can be.
Right.
Yeah, so that's probably it. Mm-hmm. That's probably it then, Manny. Like I said, I've not seen the second one because everyone says how shit it is. So I was like, I'm going to do that to myself. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's probably my favourite Marvel film.
Yeah,
I like the way they brought back Doc Ock and all of that. So
yeah. No, it was really good. I can't wait to watch it again at home. And so we got The Matrix. I haven't watched it yet, so
don't.
Yeah, that's kind of the feeling I'm getting.
Don't.
And I'm not the world's biggest Matrix fan anyway, so
yeah, it's not good. There's no reason for this film to exist.
Yeah.
They finished. I was talking about. I went out for a pint with my mate last night, and we were talking about it, and we both said the same thing. Like, I don't know why they thought they needed to make it. Everything was finished. Everything was wrapped up. It was fine, and they've kind of They've done this, and I don't know why they brought it back.
I think just jump on the bandwagon that everything's
I think so.
Like a little reboot. You know,
I think so.
These days, yeah.
100% think so. I think that's it. It's just they thought, well, why not? And they're now kind of back where they started at the first film. I mean, some of the fight scenes in it are pretty good.
Yeah.
The action bits are nice, but overall, I sat the entire thinking, this doesn't need to happen. It's a film that never needed to exist.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to bother unless I get really, really desperate and I've got nothing else to watch. I might put it on, but yeah, I'm not rushing. I'd much rather watch Ghostbusters again, I think, than watch that. But Cobra Kai, fantastic.
Yeah, Cobra Kai's amazing. Absolutely, one of the best. It's legitimately one of the best things that's been on telly in a very long time.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I'm looking forward to, because this was series 4, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to Series 5.
They've announced 5, haven't they? They've said it's coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're filming it at the moment, so you keep seeing photos of like Miguel in Mexico and stuff like that, and a lot of them. So I like it. It's very much looking forward to it.
It's easy watching. There's no complicated plot or anything. They're quite short. Although I end up watching like 4 or 5, because I think I'm only 25 minutes. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's the actors are great. There's a good kind of camaraderie. They bring in one of the other guys from Cobra Kai this season, don't they? And
yes,
he's a nasty piece of work.
Yeah, Terry Silver.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he doesn't start off the series as a nasty bastard.
He doesn't. No.
It really shows how absolutely fucking like cancerous Chris is. He just gets
just brought it all back out in him. Yeah, because he spends the whole time telling him that he's only alive because he saved him in Vietnam and he's a piece of shit and all this. And then in the end, it's like, fuck you, mate.
Yeah, he goes off the rails.
Yeah.
But you see, I loved the Karate Kid films when I was a kid, like when I was growing up. So as soon as they said they were doing this, I was like, fucking on it. And the first series was amazing.
Yeah.
And then, I'm glad Netflix then picked it up off of YouTube where people would actually watch it.
Yeah, because
suddenly everyone was like...
I hadn't watched any of it back then. I wasn't really aware of it. And you'd watched it all on YouTube. And then...
and I was like, it's fucking amazing. You have to try and find a way to watch it. And then Netflix picked it up. Then everyone's like, this is amazing. And I was like, yeah, it fucking is.
Yeah.
It really is. So, love it. Absolutely love Cobra Kai. Definitely.
And then Book of Boba Fett. First season, episode 3 dropped yesterday. Have you watched it?
I watch them as soon as they drop. I watch them in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why people are upset about the Book of Boba Fett. No, in my head, I can't. I don't. I think people would have liked to see more of him getting out of the Sarlacc pit being more of a big deal than it was.
Yeah.
But I don't. The problem is, like, we've had 40 odd years of building Boba Fett up. Mm-hmm. So nothing that they do, like nothing,
no, you can't live up to
what will meet people's expectations. Like it just can't do it. But when you think about Boba Fett in Star Wars before this, in the films, he stood about. He looked very cool. He pointed a gun at people. He marched behind Han in Carbonite.
Yeah.
Shot a couple more times. Missed Luke. Got on his ship, fucked off, and then fell into a pit. That's literally what he did, right?
Yeah.
So anything he does after that point on screen is going to be better than that. Mm-hmm. So I don't quite understand the hate for it. And if he is meant to be he's now. I'm not a bounty hunter. I'm a big fucking crime boss. We saw him kick loads of ass in The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Why
would he be the one who would go round and be kicking everyone's asses when the point is he's powerful, he's the guy in charge, he has people to do that shit for him now. So I don't know what people are expecting. Don't get me wrong, I think people really want... This very much reminds me of Metal Gear Solid, in the fact that he got to Metal Gear 2 and everyone was like, I want to be Solid Snake. I love Solid Snake. We want to be Solid Snake. And they went, we hear you. Here's Raiden. And everyone went, fuck you. This is ridiculous. Like, I think people wanted to see Boba Fett in his old style uniform, jetpacking around the place, being a badass bounty hunter, doing all that kind of shit. And that just ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
It just is not going to happen.
No. I don't mind it as a concept. I think so. I wasn't a major fan of yesterday's episode. Like I wasn't really sold on the mods and their space Vespers.
But they haven't really done anything. They've chased someone on a bike. Like they've not done much. Like it's 3 episodes into the series.
Yeah. I liked they bought him a new pet. That was quite cool. Because that was a good one in the second episode when they dropped that guy into the Sarlacc pit, and you're like, oh, is there another one? It's not the Solid, the Rancor pit.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, is there another one? Isn't it? And then obviously there wasn't.
They're just doing it to scare him.
Yeah, exactly, which is quite cool. And there's like Jonathan was saying on After Dark, the bits that resonate the best are the bits where they hark back to the the Sarlacc pit and the Rancor, things we know from Return of the Jedi, stuff like that. And as you said, we don't really understand why it's the Book of Boba Fett, and you were saying that you were thinking it might be more of an anthology series with different adventures and bits and pieces. So and again, the Mandalorian set the bar so high, that obviously this is being judged on the back of that. And I think 3 episodes in, it's early days. I don't think it's not instantly as strong and unmissable as Mando, but I'm not going to not watch it. And I think there'll be better stuff to come. I just think it's odd. It's a bit like Mando, isn't it? Where the runtime just changes drastically. So, like the first one was about 35 minutes, then you went to nearly an hour for the second one, and then yesterday's was about 35 minutes as well. But then I suppose that's all right. They want to tell a story in that episode, and if they don't feel the need to pack it out with 20 minutes of filler, then might as well go for a shorter one. But
so I think the way they keep moving the goalposts, because like Kramer says, I just don't see the Pike Syndicate as a major threat. They were owned in episode 2. We mostly just see them cut the ribbons in the Clone Wars. Yeah, I'd agree, but I think if we look at who the threat has been so far, the Mayor wasn't the Mayor. It's then the Jabba's cousins wasn't Jabba's cousins. Now it's the Pikes. Is it going to be the Pikes, or is it going to be someone else controlling the Pikes? It just seems a bit. It just doesn't. The Pikes don't seem to really fit at the moment, but it could be.
I didn't realise. So they're a thing before. They've been around before.
Yeah, so in the Clone Wars, the Pikes have come up, and they were at loggerheads with Maul and people like that, because he was the Crimson Dawn, which was a different crime gang. Okay. So it'd be interesting to see where that goes. The bits I'm liking with this are the Tusken Raiders. They're fleshing them out a bit. It doesn't bother me that these lot are dressed in black. It makes a bit more sense that you would have other factions dressing slightly different.
Yeah, kind of tribes,
who the
aren't
fuck
they?
anyone was.
Own,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, got their own jam going on.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
But that's a good point about the Bacta tank. Also, get the fuck out of the Bacta tank.
yeah.
At this point, we've seen him kick some serious ass in The Mandalorian. I get the impression the Bacta tank is there just to heal his scars. He's pretty much healed at this point. You don't have to get in there, because if they downplayed the fact that he's not getting too involved in shit because he's still injured, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But the fact he was pretty badass in The Mandalorian, and when he's with the Tusken Raiders, he's kicking ass. It just, I think the flashbacks is where most of the action really is.
Yeah.
I was thinking the flashback prequels would lead to Obi-Wan cameo for the show, but they've gone away from that. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad that they've left that. But they could. So the flashbacks couldn't go to the Obi-Wan series though. You wouldn't get because that was after. At that point, Obi-Wan's dead. So you won't get because the flashback is him coming out of the Sarlacc pit, which is after Return of the Jedi.
Oh
so
yeah. No, it's way.
You wouldn't get wouldn't get an Obi-Wan cameo in there, Mark.
No. Although I am very much looking forward to the Obi-Wan series.
I am, and what I'm quite looking forward to is they've said it's a limited series. It's this chunk, and that's it. You're not going to get any more.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So
it's got a story to tell. We know where he was, and kind of he's not going to be. Hopefully, he's not going to be. He's stuck on that planet. He's got a job to do. He's not jetting around and doing what have you. I suppose.
You meant from the dead Django parts. That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Of course, yeah. it's funny because it's another. We've had Mandalorian. Quite a lot of that was on Tatooine. Then we've got Boba Fett on Tatooine. And obviously, we know that Obi-Wan he stayed on Tatooine. So I suppose the danger is that some of it can be a bit samey. You know, we're going to have a Tusken Raiders obviously in it and Jawas and stuff again. So I think, but it's Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. So that's good enough.
Have you read the book? The Obi-Wan
No,
book?
I haven't. No, it's a
really good.
comic book, is it? Or
no, it's a proper book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
I know you've spoken about it before. Yeah.
Yeah, if they pull lots of ideas out of that, I'll be a happy man because that's a really good book.
Yeah,
and I think it could work quite well. The only bits that everything with Vader that we've seen so far in like trailers and shit like that, none of that happens in the book. Like he doesn't come up in the book. So if they introduce that, that would be kind of good.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how they get Vader in because obviously, you know, without pissing about on the accepted timeline too much, in the fact that you know he wasn't really aware of Obi-Wan or that he maybe was still alive.
If he even had a hint of suspicion that Obi-Wan was knocking round on Tatooine, he would be there in a shot.
It would be the whole thing. Him up. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I'm hoping we're just getting flashbacks and shit like that, and Force streams.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to that one. When's that meant to hit? Is that March, April?
Oh, I'm not sure. It's relatively soon because when you go on Disney Plus, it's in the coming soon bit.
It is, isn't it? It's like 3rd or 4th on the coming soon. So I'm assuming it's, you know, not too far off. But yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah,
cool.
So I'm very much liking Book of Boba at the moment. So looking forward to seeing where it goes. I'd like to see Omega and people like that popping up in the Bad Batch because the timings would fit in quite well.
Right.
You know what happens to them, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens.
We'd have seen another couple of episodes by the next show, so we'll come back to that one. Right, okay. Time of the show to thank all our wonderful Patreon members. Sean Fear, Ian Seaby, Rennie Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Leo Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Joao Breda, Equan, Chris Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, Ruben K.S. Rivera Jr., David Jones, Danny Lee, Dinny Martin, Stephen Crett, Big Fern, King Zach, Susan Mariquin, Mike Cruz, Lisa Martin Bermondsky, Rick De Gregorio, Alvin Jules, John the Everyday Collector, Carlo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Asusina, The Illustrious Rayner, Alid Morgan, our newest member, Scott Smith, welcome, Don Maton, Bowler Boy, Jimmy James, Mario Cortez, El Profesoro, Stephen Percher, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Jessica Contreras, Eddie Manzanares, Joe Corpus, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, and Brenton Palmer. Thank you very much for your continued support of the network, and hope to see that list growing and that taking half the show up by the end of the year. But no, it's good. It's good to see people still kind of getting on board and joining in and helping out. So yeah, much appreciated. And we've got you can become a member of the YouTube channel now. I think it's if you're already a Patreon, it's a discounted thing, and I'm not quite sure, but there's different perks and stuff to being a member. So we've got Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, Test Just 1, DK Avenger 702, OG Fan, The Penrikers, and Mark Pearson. Mark's showing up everywhere. He's a top man. And if you haven't, everywhere. Yeah, and if you haven't watched it, do watch the Ringcast, because not only do we have Ian guest appearing on this one, but
I really enjoyed that.
It was a really good one to us. I really enjoyed it. It was a proper lark. We went through our power rankings of the fellowship, and it was funny. It was good conversation.
It's it because I didn't because obviously I didn't know till I was on. And I was like, and I hate the Hobbits exactly the same. So it was like, what's your eighth? Any of the Hobbits, they're all shit. What's your seventh? Any of the Hobbits. They're all shit. What's your sixth? There's a theme here. Any of the Hobbits, because they're all shit.
Yeah, and Danny had done the same, didn't he? Danny had the bottom four. So
literally, I can't. The Hobbits just the only Hobbit I like is Bilbo. The rest of them can suck a dick.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So no, it was a fun show. So it's definitely worth watching. So
I'd definitely do it again. It's a good show.
We're welcome whenever, mate. So if you're not already a Patreon, we've got 3 tiers. Sweet Angel, which is $5 a month and gives you stickers sent straight to your door and access to Ox After Dark replay. Certified Crispy is $15 a month. All the benefits of the previous tier, and you get a official certified Crispy certificate. Assistance with figure fixes by Zach. All benefits, and the What Guy, $25 a month. You get a signed Collecting Weekly Live 18x24 silhouette poster on first pledge. Doubles all the stickers so you can send one to your family and friends. All the benefits of the previous tiers. And I think they decided on a mug, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you can get a mug with I think any one of the stickers on, or one of the current stickers, or what have you. We've talked a lot about Mario tonight. He's in the chat, and somebody thought that the show was better when he. No, he's.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, no, we're trying to get through the car. We had our sticker a couple of months ago, so it's the turn for Mario El Professoro. So you get that wonderful sticker there on the Death Star background, and then a combined in and out collecting sticker. So Eddie, Mario, and John on there. Stickers designed by Manny, top man as ever. Brilliant stuff. We got some cool stickers coming for February, but I think we just waiting to finalise those. So you'll see them. You'll probably see them on CW or somewhere first, because obviously we're not back on for a couple of weeks. But I get a sticker, so that's cool. It'd be me and Zach as Lord of the Rings characters, and the idea is to work through the whole network. So pick who you want to be, mate.
So I just want to say a very, very big thank you to Andre, who just sent me a link to someone putting out the Asmus Ash. So I've just picked up a new shotgun for it.
Yay, nice.
Sorted.
Nice.
Look at that, eh? Perfect. Thanks very, very, very
brilliant.
much.
Brilliant. Making dreams come true.
Exactly. So yeah, no, my Lord of the Rings sticker would have to be anyone with a beard, really. It wouldn't work if it was anyone else. To be fair. To be fair, there's not that many bald people in there.
There's not. No, unless you want to be an orc. But I don't tend to have beards.
No, true.
But,
True.
And we've got if you fancy a t-shirt, branded t-shirt, TeePublic. Got tons of designs on there. Pretty reasonable prices. So yeah, if you wanna wear some CW,
Gollum. Yeah, I'd do Gollum. Gollum could do. I'd like to see Gollum with a beard.
Yeah, definitely. So TeePublic, have a look on there if you want some swag. And I'll leave it. It's up to you, mate, to take us through the rest of the network. I'm going to just drop some links in the chat here while you're going through that.
Yeah, so we have every week we have Collecting Weekly Live. So they are on every week, every opportunity, every Wednesday. They goof, they gaff, they laugh, all that kind of stuff. After Dark, which is the slightly ruder version of Collecting Weekly Live. It's very tame, if I'm honest. It's not quite as they're not quite as balls deep as most other programs, but they are very, very nice people, so well worth watching them. And then Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing, where they unbox anything that John's been sitting on for the last 10 years from his giant dungeon of stuff, which he will unbox upon a little turntable, spin around, and smell the feet of. I think the range he's going for at the moment is the creepy lady statue, which people bought a few years ago when they didn't have girlfriends and stuff, and the only women they could get were porcelain ones in provocative poses. So yeah, enjoy. And then you've got us, the bi-weekly lot. You know, you've got the jewel in the crown, us, the height of professionalism, OFAC, small talk with the little itty bitty things in life, in and outs, which is the statue lot, the kind of lords of the hobby, because we're peasants who can't afford statues unless they're smashed and we have to fix them.
Yeah.
And then we got Live and Let Dice, which is a group of virgins throwing dice around. And then monthly we got the Ringcast, which is a very, very good program about Lord of the Rings. Lots of fun, very much enjoyed it. Bricks and Brews, which is Zach's latest and greatest hobby till he gets a new one, which is all about Lego and him making Lego sets and all of that. And then Pose Wars, which is them posing figures and having a competition with scores and shit like that. So yeah, well worth it. Watch them all, love them all, support us. We love you all, and it's fantastic. So yeah, that's it. That's the network. That's the lot. That's your shallot, said the Onion.
And you got one more slide, which is the collecting weekly clips on Instagram. So
yes,
there's a best of the year like little clip reel in there, which is quite funny. And we're in there a couple of times. So
when we can be asked,
yeah.
When we can be asked to clip stuff, you're more than welcome, Mr. Bug. So yeah, I think that's about it then, Pete. We're all done.
Yeah.
That is it. That was the 60th. So yeah,
first show 2022. Many more to come. Yeah.
I think next week next week or the week after when we're back on, we're going to look at giving away some little name plaques from Backdrops and Bases. So we'll stick something in the groups of how we're going to do that. But we'll try and give it away with anyone that's in the chat, really. So yeah, all fun and games.
Yeah, excellent.
So thank you all. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a good one. And we shall see you all next time.
Good chat tonight, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it's good.
See you all later.
Cool. Catch you later.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Shalom.